Hello, everyone. My guest today is Collin Holmes. He is the founder and CEO of a company called Chatmeter, founded in 2009. Before Chatmeter, he was VP of Product Management and Marketing at V-Enable, which is now XAD. His extensive experience in the local search industry, both online and mobile, provides a solid foundation for the direction of the current company. Collin, are you ready to take us to the top?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Tell me about Chatmeter. What do you do and what's your business model? How do you make money?
Sure. So Chatmeter is an online reputation and local SEO company. So we help large chains with multiple locations improve their presence, visibility, and reputation on sites like Google Maps, Yelp, all those reviews that people are reading and searching for every day when they're trying to find those local products and experiences. We help get those businesses in front of consumers.
Okay, and is this is it a pure play SaaS model or pay as you go or professional services?
Yeah, pure SaaS, very little services.
Okay, and are you doing kind of enterprise deals or high volume, low ARPU kind of deals?
Yeah, so we are enterprise. When I started the company, we were originally a direct to SMB model. Banged my head against that wall for a few years and then moved to the enterprise space. So now it's typically chains. We don't talk to clients unless they have about 20 locations. The average our average client has about 250 locations. So it really is that regional chain, but we've also acquired some of the largest brands in the country, like Kohl's and AutoTrader and Payless and large retailers as well.
And so just to round that out before we get more of your backstory, general contract value on these things over a year, are we talking like $100,000, 10 million, $1 million?
The average is about 50 to 70 grand a year.
Okay, got it. And are the metrics or the levers you pull to drive expansion revenue, is it based off number of locations or number of seats or what is it?
You got it. Yeah, it's based on the location size. The bigger your chain, the more you're going to pay us.
Interesting. Okay, tied to location, not like foot traffic or anything else.
And what they're actually paying for, just to give you a sense of the platform, it's a dashboard that aggregates and reports on all of this information and then enables them with tools to be able to do things. And so a couple of those things would be great examples are responding to reviews. So we're aggregating all of that content, allowing them to see, let's say I'm a regional manager, I want to only look at my store, see what's happening, where do I need to maybe fire the store manager, for example. We're enabling the corporate office to respond to reviews in which there's a lot of communications going on between the corporate office and the local office, figuring out what happened. That will require you to kind of track and manage all of that, almost like a mini CRM, if you will. We're certainly not a CRM company, but that concept of being able to understand the customer experience, know what happened. You need tools really to be able to do that when you're someone that has 200 stores across multiple review sites. You're talking about thousands and thousands of pages. So we aggregate all that information, allow you to see where you need to focus your efforts, and provide you with the tools to be able to do that effectively.
And bootstrapped, or have you raised capital?
Mostly, I would call it mostly bootstrapped. So
come on, Collin. No, you either get the bootstrap credit or you're not. You've gone to the dark side and you're funded. Which one is it?
Well, we definitely, I can tell you because I was dead broke for multiple years that we were bootstrapped for quite a while. So the first 4 or 5 years was bootstrapped. We basically built I would say about a 2 million ARR business on less than 100,000 in funding.
Okay, so that was between 2009 going to 2013. In 2013, you grew it to about 2 million in ARR before you did a funding round.
Well, technically, yeah, that was our first real kind of angel rounds right around 2013, 2014.
Yep.
Which were pretty small. And then in 2016, so give you a little history there. So we raised a little capital really to kind of focus on pivoting toward the enterprise.
What's a little? Like, give me real numbers. How much did you raise?
It was like 100,000 that year. That allowed me to find my current CTO as well as my head of sales.
And total team size today is what?
I'm sorry?
What are you at now today, total team size?
So team size now is up to, we're just approaching 60 people.
Okay, all in San Diego?
Yep.
Okay. All right, so found out.
To get back to the funding side.
Yeah, round out the funding stuff.
Yeah, so we rebuilt the platform, really kind of found our product to market fit. Enterprise was the way to go. We had to build enterprise functionality and redesign the dashboard for that. because it was a very simple SMB dashboard before, and just crushed it in 2015.
You have to quantify that somehow. What do you mean crushed it? Like tripled the business, 5x'd it, what?
Yeah, it was more like 5x. And so we had massive growth in 2016. So we went out and said, okay, it's time to go raise some funding. So we went out to raise $1 million. We ended up raising about closer to $2 million. We grew from about 15 employees to roughly 40 within 3 months. So pretty rapid growth.
Growing your team just means you're growing your expenses. So when you say rapid growth, I mean, it's more important, obviously, they're talking about customers than it is increasing your team size.
Yeah. So to give you a sense, 2013 to 2014 was 100% year-over-year growth revenue-wise. Same for 2015 to 2016. Over the last 12 months, we were looking at about 85% year-over-year revenue growth.
That's good. That's good. I mean, so just to actually round that out. So you told me in 2013 you bootstrapped for the first 4 years to about $2 million in ARR. So if it was $2 million in 2013, 100% year over year, that takes you to $4 million, I believe, in 2014, and then another 100% in 2015. That's $8 million. So I mean, are you guys you're north of $10 million at this point, right?
We're in the ballpark of that range.
Okay, got it. Fair enough. And you've raised $2 million total now, right?
Yep.
Okay, good stuff. What about economics in this space? So obviously churn is critical in a SaaS business. What do you guys at in terms of churn?
Very good retention numbers. We're about 90% annual retention.
In terms of logo or revenue?
Actually, the numbers are pretty similar on both.
They're about equal. Okay, cool. Now, so you haven't hit net negative revenue churn yet when you added back in your expansion?
Nope. We have a lot of upsell because we have additional products and services that we offer. So we're in a positive element. We offer other services like listing management in our platform, as a service. You have clarity on what that is. It's helping clients make sure that all their stores, name, address, phone number, that has photos, basically highly optimized business listing profiles on all the local search sites.
Okay, interesting. And then in terms of total customers you're serving today, about how many are you working with?
So we are in the six-figure count in terms of overall customers. When we pull in all of the locations across.
Wait, what do you mean? I didn't understand that. What do you mean six-figure customer count?
In terms of number of locations.
Okay, but got it. But one customer could have hundreds and hundreds of locations, right?
No, yeah, I'm talking about individual locations. So we have hundreds of enterprise clients.
Yep.
Hundreds of thousands of locations.
Hundreds of thousands of locations and just hundreds. So called between 100 and 1,000 individual brands you're working with.
Yep.
Got it.
We try, like I mentioned, we try to keep some of our numbers a little close to the vest.
Yeah. I assume most of what you're giving me here is minimums, which is totally fine. It gives us some sense of scale. But if you're north or around 10 million right now in ARR, and I divide that by 12, that's about, 830K a month. And if you've got an ARPU of people paying on average 50 grand a year, that's $4,000 a month ish. If I just divide $4,000 into 830, that puts you right around 200 ish customers or brands that make up those hundreds of thousands of locations.
You're not too far off, and you're pretty good at math.
All right, good. We'll skip. I won't pin you down anymore there. That's fair enough to understand. How do you scale the business even faster?
Right now we are. Obviously, a big focus is sales and marketing. So we've kind of intentionally under-resourced marketing as well. So we really want to go out and prove that we have that repeatable sales model, which is what we did within the last year. I've been heading up marketing, along with many of my other responsibilities, and so we are now actually just put an offer letter out to a new VP marketing that's going to be starting in a couple weeks. So very excited about that and having a big impact or increase, I should say, on our marketing spend is going to drive major growth for us in 2018. What are
you spending right now in an average month on acquisition?
Everything in it's. Are you talking salaries or non-salaries?
Non-salaries, just direct paid spend, Google ads, Facebook ads, conferences, things like that.
Yep. On average, it's roughly about 80K.
Okay, a month. That's pretty healthy. So you must have a pretty good idea of CAC. What's your CAC right now?
It is, I'm just presenting on this number. We spend about 14,000.
And that's to get a new brand that could have hundreds of locations, right?
Correct.
Got it. And how quickly do you recover that 14 grand? What's your payback period?
We're about 10 months in.
Okay, that's pretty. I mean, that's pretty healthy.
Yeah.
Dangerous question here because you can lie to yourself really easily. What do you assume one of these brands is worth to you in terms of lifetime value?
Well, I mean, we're seeing obviously you can take your churn numbers and multiply that out, which is, I think for us, I forget the number off the top of my head. I think it was close to about 300,000. It could be a little off on that. Maybe 280 is what we were calculating.
No, I get a higher number. If you have 90% retention, so that's 10% churn. 1 divided by 0.01 is 100 months of lifetime value at, what is that, $4,000 a month. That puts you at over 400 grand in lifetime value. Yeah, interesting. Do you use those though in any meaningful way in the business or no?
No, I don't necessarily in a meaningful way. I mean, obviously, if you're talking to investors, everybody looks at SaaS and metrics to better understand the value of your business. So I think from that perspective, it's important. It does allow us to obviously reinvest a lot of that profits into the business. That's why we have been able to bootstrap for so long, because being able to take those profits and that break-even point on a per client basis and reinvest has been, allowed us to grow without having to raise 5-10 million, which many of our competitors have done. So you look at our competitors.
Name two of them.
Reputation.com, who's raised $50 million. We've got companies like Moment Feed, who's raised about $16 million. There's a company called Vendasta out of Canada that's raised about the same amount. And I can proudly say we win about 90% of deals when we're up against competitors.
Interesting. That's great. All right, Collin, let's wrap up here with the famous 5. One-word answers. Number 1, what's your favorite business book?
Favorite business book, I would say Predictable Revenue.
Number 2, is there a CEO you're following or studying right now?
I tend to follow the HubSpot CEO.
Brian Halligan.
There's a lot of great posts.
Yep. Number 3, what's your favorite online tool for growing the business?
It's funny, I just mentioned HubSpot because we're switching from HubSpot to Marketo.
That's funny. Why?
A little dig. It is not, it's just probably not good enough from a scale perspective. Better for kind of smaller businesses, smaller SaaS, but we're getting to much bigger needs from a campaign perspective.
Yep. All right. Number 4, how many hours of sleep are you getting every night?
A lot more than I used to. So when I started the business, I was outsourcing to India as well. So working about 80, 90 hours a week. Right now, I'm getting a good 7.5 hours. So life's a lot better than it used to be.
That's good. And what's your situation? Married, single? Do you have kids?
Single, no kids, living girlfriend.
That's good. And how old are you?
I'm 44.
All right. Last question, Collin. Take us back 24 years. What do you wish your 20-year-old self knew?
Start a business sooner.
There you guys have it from Collin. He says he would have started his business sooner, launched his current company, Chatmeter, back in 2009. He's having success, team of 60. He's bootstrapped to about $2 million in ARR. And then that was in 2013. Has now grown to somewhere around $10 million in ARR. He's got over 200 or around 200 companies or customers, brands he works with that make up hundreds of thousands of locations all across the country, helping with, again, reputation management for each of these different outlets, which is very hard, obviously, to do at scale. He solves that problem. Growing rapidly, 90% annual logo retention, super healthy payback period, less than 10 months, spending about 14 grand on CAC. His team based out there in San Diego. Collin, thank you for taking us to the top.
My pleasure. All right. Thank you.